Hello there. Ryan Hamer here. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this video. In this video, it's in our collection commandment series. Today we are going to be talking about getting that date of last payment. So you'll notice that a lot of my videos, or a lot of the things with these videos, they're sort of working together with one another, right? So I may mention something. I may have mentioned this in the last video or a previous video where I talk about the date of last payment, and why that's so significant and why that's so important is because you need to know if this particular debt that you owe, where does it stand with regards to the statute of limitations, which is another video I talked to you guys about. The date of last payment is so critical. It's so important because the date of last payment, it'll tell you several things, right? It'll give you a time frame with respect to like the year range of when this alleged debt occurred, when a payment was made last, and it'll let you know, we talked about the statute of limitations. Are you within the realm? Are you within the statute of limitations where you can still be sued for this debt? Or is it statute barred debt, which means it's past the statute of limitations and in your general area, right? And whether you can or cannot be sued for the debt. So these four things matter. And then also knowing the date of last payment, it lets you know how close you are to the 6 or 7 year mark when the debt will actually drop off of the credit bureau the credit bureau report, provided that the debt is actually displayed on the credit bureau report. Sometimes you will get a phone call or you'll get an email or a letter from a potential creditor, for a debt that is not even displaying on your credit bureau report. And that debt will never display on your credit bureau report. Reason being, first, it's statute barred. Second, it's way past the even credit bureau statute of limitations, whereby if a debt is from, I'm just throwing out a number here, 2010, there's no way a debt from 2010 is going to show up on your credit bureau report, because how can they enforce that? How can they enforce getting that debt on your credit bureau report once it's statute barred debt, and it can't even be on the credit bureau report because it would have dropped off anyway, especially if there hasn't been an acknowledgement of that debt. So once, we talked about this, where if you say, yes, I owe the debt, yes, I own the debt, yes, it's mine, blah, 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 then what happens is you reset the clock. But if you never reset the clock for a debt from how many years ago, there's no way. There's no way. There is no way. I've seen people come to me and they've said that, hey, I have this debt, and they keep emailing me. And I say, so? The thing is, when I tell you not to ignore debt, there's a difference, right? There's again, fine line. If the debt is completely outside the realm of, you're not going to go, and if somebody comes to you with a debt from the 90s, what are you going to tell them, right? You're not going to say, oh yes, let me pay, sir. No, you're not going to do that. Somebody comes to you with a debt from 2010. You're not going to say, oh yes, let me pay right now. No, because you had, first of all, 2 years to sue me. Second of all, you could have put it on my credit bureau report and it would have dropped off anyway. I don't believe that debt to be valid. I don't believe that information to be accurate, right? So the date of last payment will show you all of these things. It'll open up your eyes to recognize where you are with respect to that debt. In one of my previous videos, we talked about knowing the statute of limitations in your area, in your state, city, country, or whatever, wherever you are. We talked about Ontario. We talked about Canada for the most part, but it doesn't matter whether you're in the US, whether you're in the UK, or whether you're in South America, Equifax and TransUnion, the principles are the same. Debt is debt. The only thing that is different are the legalities and the rules within your particular location that you have to discover and find out for yourself. Because I don't know them all. But the companies pretty much work the same. Okay, these things are. It's like gravity, right? Gravity will be the same whether we're in the US, whether we're in the UK, whether we're in Canada, or whether we're in the States. This company has the same principles with regards to debt. Now, it's just there are certain things that are a little different that you're going to have to figure out in your area. Okay, but the date of last payment, once you figure that out, once you find that out, it'll allow you to figure out the things that I mentioned. And I'll do a recap of that in the description. So please feel free to like, share, and comment. If you have any questions, I'm not doing a long video about this because it's very self-explanatory. It's pretty straightforward. All right. Thanks for watching.